through change and transformation as many times as we do in life, I've started to recognize a pattern and a way to support the process. So I wanted to share, and hopefully it's helpful to you. And, if not, you can disregard. But sometimes in life we feel like a different self emerging, right? We feel there's some part of our character or an expression or some soul calling that just hasn't really been able to surface. And part of the reason why is because your current reality structure is upholding the you that you've been, right? So reality, or you, if you're really good at catalyzing change, but sometimes we resist stuff because we're comfortable or we like it or whatever reason, we have attachments. So life will start to crumble things, right? Take people away, move situations, take jobs away, financial collapse, or whatever that shakes you out of your previous and puts you on this new trajectory. Here's the thing that sometimes happens, and I've done this in the past, and I've had to go like kind of repair or recapitulate, or I've just learned after the fact, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So sometimes we feel the new self, and like the less mature, let's say, way of handling it is we just burn everything behind us to the ground. We just burn bridges, we, hurt people, we do things to just like sever, but we don't recognize that in the new persona, there are pieces of our old self that if we really incinerate, we won't be able to bring along. Okay, we won't be able to reintegrate. So I'll give you a gentle example for me and kind of how I was learning this. So I have gone through phases in my life where I just literally like incinerated like old journals, got rid of so many things that I felt were weighing me down in order to go to a new life. Like I've literally picked up and moved and taken only what fits in my car like numerous times, more than a dozen times. And in each case, I used to try to store stuff at people's house, then I felt bad. So then I just basically got rid of things. So I got rid of things from my past, got rid of my like childhood picture book and like some beautiful things that I gathered in India. And later I was like, oh, like I know everything's meant to be, but why did I get rid of that thing? Or why did I release that thing? Like I could have found a way to just like store that thing, right? And sometimes we overstore and we like hold on to everything. But I've also done this, of course, with people. I've burned bridges and cut them out. When I was learning alchemy after studying yoga in India, and yoga is also alchemy, but I was studying a different internal alchemy system, and I had a Toltec Nagul teacher, and everything I was learning was blowing my mind, and it was blowing up my previous understanding. And I had a moment where I was like, do I just get rid of all the yoga books? Do I just like trash all of that and go full on into this other thing? And I kind of had a reflection moment where I was like, well, maybe I'm going to come back to this stuff, but I don't really know how. So I'm just not going to throw the books away. I'm just not going to like destroy that part of me quite yet. I'm not going to just like kick it out the door yet. Let's just see how this other stuff lands, right? So I started to understand that, and this is actually what happened. I learned the new structure, which blew up my mind, expanded my awareness. And then I looked back at the yoga stuff and I was like, ooh, now I know how to bring this stuff in here anew. Now I know how to bring these understandings into my new understanding. And they're actually very cohesive and they're stepping stones and they're lovely. So now when I feel a new version of me coming in, I'm like, oh, I know I have to step away from this stuff to get to this stuff, but there's stuff over here that's valuable to me. How can I not destroy it on my way to the new? So taking care of the things in our life, be it relationships, health stuff, job situation, how do I not just incinerate the old for the new? Well, I treat this with honor and respect. I go, you know what? We're going to pause, suspend this for a minute because we're going over here, but we love you. We're still coming back to you, right? And like I have an example with some work stuff right now. Like I've been on a certain path for a while, a spiritual journey, coaching journey, a teaching journey, and I feel like there is something, a variation calling me in the future. But to get there, I've learned I don't just release this, this is part of that. So I have to give homage and respect and still deliver, right? And find the joy that's in the new things starting already to seep into where I've come from, right? So for me, that looks like I even serve more in the capacity that I know is transforming. And it's almost like my time right now with my shifting, um, probably my career trajectory is what I feel is shifting, but it's almost like this is the moment when all the secrets come out. Like all the things that I didn't realize I was doing in order to move this way that I haven't maybe shared, or that I haven't really divulged because it was happening so unconsciously before, maybe, or I took it for granted as being the crucial key things. But now that I'm in this shifting point again, I'm like, let me throw some nuggets down here, and maybe you'll resonate with these. But this is the one of the bigger transformation moments of my life, and maybe because I'm going through menopause right now, and I have a completely different version of that than what most people are running, and that is a great initiation is occurring. And so there's key moments, rites of passage moments in our growth cycle that almost like are offering a turning page, right? And the planetary alignments also are saying, hey, the story is taking a different turn here. But so just a suggestion, looking around your reality right now, things may be crumbling, but my suggestion is don't burn all the bridges. Don't shut all the doors. Some things, yes, but the things in your soul could be still going through their transformation processes, right? There's things that could still be like, I don't even know. Maybe I'm completely wrong and my career trajectory is actually deepening, but I just didn't know that it contained these elements that I can see already on the horizon starting to come in that are leading me in. Because I do know one thing is our core essence doesn't change. Our core essence doesn't change, but I used to sell raw chocolate. I used to make and sell raw chocolate, and I did that for 5 years, but it wasn't just any raw chocolate. It was still my soul signature chocolate. It was a healing, transformative, supportive to your journey chocolate that made you happy and, relaxed and everything. And that is sort of like the thread of my life, I guess. Ooh, my stomach's growling. Is this my life is on a transformation trajectory. So I have a cough drop because I'm feeling it. Everything I do is for my personal transformation, but also if I share it, can be, like maybe a guidepost for others on the way. I don't know. We're all at different stages, right? If we're a little bit head down a track, it's always good to reach back and give a hand and be like, hey, like if someone's already climbed Mount Everest, they're going to turn around and be more helpful to someone that never has, right? And we all have different Mount Everests, right? And I went to a jewelry making class the other day and I made this ring. I didn't know the first thing about what I was doing. And the teacher was just acting like it's second nature. Oh, well, yeah, of course. I'm literally like, I don't even know how to stand right now. I was like, I'm hunching over to do the fire. And she's like, let's begin with good posture. And I'm like, didn't even cross my mind. I was literally like, what is this flame doing? So whenever we're on a new course, we need to look to others who've been focused heavily on that course, right? So at this time in my life, the things that I feel opening for me, I'm looking for those further along the line than me to kind of emulate and follow after while my own way is going through this morphing, right? And that's what every transformation journey is about. Every transformation journey is a morphing, and we're looking for signposts to help us get along the way of maybe someone who's just a few steps further on the path. So just my tidbit for this video, maybe it didn't need to be this long, is don't close all the doors and burn all the bridges just yet if you feel something is still in your soul about that thing. You know, and that could be a relationship or a person where you're like, this just isn't connecting right now, but I can see that they're on a transformation journey just like me. And if I just release this current version with honor and we leave like a nice feeling there, you know, this might return at some point. Doesn't mean it will, but it does, it could. And it does mean that you are like allowing and honoring the journey that you're both needing to be on. You're honoring the love that has been there, and you're giving grace. And you're saying, well, I'm going through change, so it's, you know, I know you are, and who knows, you know, like our wounded selves may have met before. Like sometimes we meet people and our wounds are what are meeting instead of our true self. And if that person and you have a true soul connection, it will resurface at another level later. And sometimes we burn bridges and close doors too fast, and then we actually miss that opportunity to grow with somebody after some time has passed. I think it's a very underrated possibility in our reality. Something I've learned, sorry, I have to put this in my mouth, like through like having different relations, is I've really regretted burning certain bridges. And some bridges I'm happy that I kept open also. Friendships or job connections, some of those seem obvious. I'm sorry, I feel like that's so distracting. I'm almost done. You know, some friends you don't have to talk to for a long time and it's just always there, right? You can come back to it and it's always there. Those are key strands in our reality, right? In our soul essence, what we're truly here to do is also something we can never really get away from. We might like take little side paths to develop a certain quality, but in the end, it's all going to weave back in. And I was going to say, when I wanted to get into something, my baby was 1, and I was like, I need to do something, but I can't decide. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? I couldn't teach yoga anymore at the moment because he's a baby. I did some baby yoga, but I've been teaching for years before him, and I was starting to make this chocolate, but I was like, how could it be a business? And what about all this transformation stuff that I'm doing? And somebody told me, no matter what you choose, everything that you are is going to go into that. So it's going to reconfigure around the thing that you choose. It's still going to have the same core essence. It's still going to have the same elements. Nothing is destroyed. It's just reworked, right? So if something's part of your true soul path, your true soul mission, it's going to rework itself and come back in, right? And find a new form. So I posted a short today on YouTube and also across the social media platforms of a simple technique you can do to trust the nothing in the I don't know, and that space between. So you might want to check that out. And just different practices can help us move stages, you know, like I super love pulling cards and, you know, divination and runes and stuff like that, because they're little signposts that just kind of give you a clue, like what is happening right now. Well, let's just sum it up from the mysterious, with the mysterious language, right? Because it doesn't pinpoint anything exactly, but it gives you a nice casing of what is the cosmic energy around this. So in your travel, in your journey, in your reworking, try to move with grace and honor, you know, and of course, if there's something you know just absolutely must be severed, there is an opportunity for shadow work there, and to look at why, what part of me do I think I need to be severed from? Because we're always in wholeness. We're always in wholeness. And key people and situations come up to kind of poke at the places we have not yet loved about ourselves, to encourage us to look inside and, see certain things about ourselves, you know. So those, if we accept them, can be very humbling and grace fulfilling in our transformation journey. These people that maybe like push our buttons or trigger us along the way. I'm kind of getting sick of that word trigger though. They elicit a response in us. That is something to look at. That is something to own about ourselves and like see where we want that to be going forward. So I am in deep honor of the button pushing that I have had to push me in the direction that I am, because true people in our soul path, sometimes they have to act a certain way toward us to push us toward our greatness. And if we can see it that way, then we can see beauty in these processes and not have, negative feelings about it. Anyway, food for thought. I hope your day is beautiful and wishing you much love.